think we're live. Let me make sure here. Let's see. Got one person in the chat. Make sure everything's up and running here. Jay Wolfie, what's up? Abbas. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Abbas B, what's going on? And then comic books in the chat. Let's do it. All right, so I'm going to wait till a little bit more people get in here. I can't get over that Warriors vest. Where'd you get it? ECT Tristan. So Amazon had I think it was Amazon or eBay. I can't remember. I think it was either eBay or Amazon. They had this sale that they were selling vests from like movies and TV shows and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if they have the Warriors vest. I'm from New York and I'm a huge Warriors fan. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I went ahead and see if they had one. I looked a long time because some of them didn't have the details right, like on the very bottom of them, like the trim, that black trim, they're supposed to be diamonds. Some of them didn't have that. Some of them didn't have the Warriors font correct. So I wanted to make sure it was the most screen accurate one I could find, and it definitely is. And I actually got to meet James Remar, who played Ajax, and he signed it. Turns out I went to school with his son. So that was a very memorable experience. I might make a video about that because it's one of my favorite memories. But yeah, long story short, let's see what we got here. Hey, Pastor is actually... Hey, is Pastor actually your pastor? Nope, not a pastor. That's just my name. It's my legal name. Yeah. Did I see the set leaks for Hawkeye? No, I did not. Random Andy, what's going on? Haley Seinfeld was a good choice. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. Just coming by to say hi. I'm 12. Jay Wolfie, what's going on? I know you're one of Holden's moderators. I saw that the last time he went live, so that's awesome, man. But I wish she was someone better than Hawkeye 2.0. Oh, you guys are talking about the Hawkeye thing. The Warriors is my all-time favorite movie. Getting the book tomorrow. Oh wow, I didn't know that there was a book. Oh yeah, I guess I did know that the movie was based off a book. I forget what it's called though. Well, hello there, Alex W. Welcome, buddy. I have a huge crush on Haley Steinfeld. Yeah. Hey yo, what's going on, McLovin? Spider-Man 2. Stefano says. Let's see. Let's go. What else we got? I watched an old Holden video, and he called you by your first name. It was different. Yes, my first name's Ulysses. Yeah. But everyone knows me as Pastor, so. Yeah, I'm a mod for the whole crew. I think you're one of my mods too. If not, I'll make you a mod. Let's round it off there. Favorite movie of all time? Stefano asks. My favorite movie of all time is The Princess Bride. Is that a Keyblade in the back? Yes, that is a Keyblade hanging. It's actually a metal Keyblade, and I've had that for years. And that's my newest addition, the bearded axe that's hanging right there. I got that at a Halloween party, an annual Halloween party I go to every year, and I won best overall male costume. So there's my green screen. But yeah, so that's my newest addition to the wall. Welcome everybody that's coming in. Sorry about it was late. I had to go pick my youngest son Luke up from my mom's house, and she needed my help and stuff. So it took a lot longer than I wanted to. Geisha Warrior, what's going on? Ben Johnson, what's going on? But yeah, so I wanted to go live for several reasons. Number one, because Mark McKeever, who's one of my patrons and one of the members of the crew, or not the crew, but the community and the subscribers, messaged me and said that Warner Brothers announced they were going to release every movie of 2021 directly to HBO Max. How am I doing today, MN? I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm glad to be home. I was out and about doing a lot of things today. There's some stuff I want to talk to you guys about that I did today that you guys are going to get excited for. But yeah, so I guess since the name of the video is talking about Warner Brothers, I guess I'll leave that for last. So today, as you guys are coming in and saying hi to one another, basically, Holden had... Oh, hold on. Someone has a question. Hey, Pastor, my mom used to work with you and Holden at Wolf... Really? Her name is Debbie. I still have all the DBZ stuff. Just found you in Holden's pages recently. New fan. Oh, Jeff. I know who your mom is. Yeah, she was one of the nurses during night shift. Dude, that's really cool, man. Welcome, dude. Feel free to hang out. I mean, it's a great community. And yeah, if you like what you see, consider subscribing to the channel and all that good stuff. And I have a bunch of links that I'll post in the description below. But yeah, man, your mom, she's a great nurse, and she made Holden and Mai's life a lot easier when we had to work there, because it was a very stressful job. And your mom was always happy. She was always a very happy person. And I always enjoyed looking forward to when she was the nurse on staff. So that's awesome that you're here. Jeff, I've heard a lot about you, Jeff. I know a lot about you. She always talked about you, and she's like, my son's great. And I was like, yeah, he sounds like it, So welcome, dude. I'm glad you're here. Hit the like button. Yeah, please, if you like it, hit the like button. Thanks. Random Andy, Snapkey Videos, they are releasing the movies on HBO Max for only 30 days at the same time they go to theaters. Oh, okay, yeah. So I didn't read up on it yet. I wanted to kind of talk about it on stream. But, yeah, sure. Maybe we can chill sometime, man. I'm glad that you guys are still local. I know she was talking about leaving Florida for a long time, so I'm glad you guys are still around. Maybe I can get Holden to come along as well. So, yeah. I guess we can briefly talk about it since everyone's talking about it in the chat. I have the article here. Let me see if I can pull it up next to everything. So basically it says, I hope you guys can hear me okay. Warner Brothers will release all of its new 2021 movies simultaneously on HBO Max for a period of 1 month in the United States. So yeah, whoever said 30 days, that seems what it's saying here. Oh no, man, you're good. Don't worry about interrupting. We're all family here, man. Welcome. I'm really glad you're here. Yeah, theaters are definitely struggling, and it breaks my heart, man. But so here's what it says. It says Warner Media is pushing even more aggressively into streaming by releasing every single one of its movies in 2021 simultaneously on HBO Max. There are some limitations to the new business model. The movies will only stream on HBO Max for 1 month before leaving the platform for a period of time. They will also play in theaters simultaneously, keeping the relationship with movie theater distributors like AMC and Regal. So that's nice to hear, because I know Regal was one of the ones that was threatening to be closed. I think they have like 144 locations. That would have been devastating. The plan is to run this experiment for 1 year. For people who don't have access to HBO Max in their market, it appears the theatrical releases will still be going on as an option. So that's awesome that they're doing both. Some of these movies include Tom and Jerry, Judas and the Black Messiah, which that sounds interesting, The Little Things, Mortal Kombat, Those Who Wish Me Dead, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, In the Heights, Space Jam: A New Legacy, Suicide Squad: Remnants, Malignant, Dune, The Many Saints of Newark, King Richard, Cry Macho, and Matrix 4. So we'll see. Definitely saying they're going to release it in 4K Ultra HD and HDR. So they reached an agreement with Roku for those of us who don't have like PS4s or anything like that to stream. They were fighting over a deal. Media was offering a limited deal, making HBO Max 22% cheaper for people who sign up for 6 months. I might have to do that. That $69.99 price works out just under $12 a month instead of $15. That sounds pretty good. But anyway, that's awesome. I'm glad that people are moving forward. Coronavirus has definitely put a damper on a lot of things, and I'm glad that people are finding ways, being creative, and finding ways that they can keep movies coming out and keep one of the best American pastimes and really global pastimes around, because that would be devastating to lose something like the movie theater. Let's see here, the chat. Yeah, definitely welcome Jeff to the community. Thank you guys. What is HBO? What HBO is doing? Yeah, I think it's a good idea too, Geisha Worry. I think it's really smart. I'm scared for theaters. Love the theaters so much. Yeah, I don't think they're going to go anywhere, McLovin, to be honest. I think that most people, they'll figure it out. Definitely. I don't think Corona's going to last, forever. So we just have to be smart and be wise and definitely adapt. Human beings can adapt, and we got to do that. Theaters for the win. Thank you all. Yeah, Jeff, man. You guys have no idea, but Jeff's mom really made that job a lot easier for me. And definitely for Holden, I'm sure. Alexis Garcia. Hey, Pastor, what's up? Hope you're doing good, man. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just basically living my best life, man. Happy that you guys are here hanging out. But yeah, so that's basically, in a nutshell, what Warner Brothers is thinking about doing. I know Wonder Woman 1984 was the first announcement of being straight to stream. So it's interesting that they're doing all of the movies that Warner Brothers are releasing. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's a good move. I know AMC and Regal and all those theaters. I would hate to see anything bad happen to them permanently. So hopefully, this is the solution to all of this craziness. Yeah, I can't wait to see Dune either, Jay Wolfie. My grandson calls cinema the pictures. That's why they called them back in the 60s and 80s. Yeah, the pictures. That sounds pretty cool. Patrick Stewart, what's going on, man? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Geisha Warrior wants to see Mortal Kombat. So do I. I am a huge Mortal Kombat fan. So yeah, I definitely want to see it. Scorpion's my favorite, so I'm really excited. Love that crow head in the background. Thanks, man. Yeah, that's one of my prized possessions. That's definitely one of my prized possessions. I've been meaning to make this video showcasing all my collectibles and all my nerd stuff for the longest time ever, and I swear to you guys I'm going to get that out there, especially since you guys appreciate all this stuff. The Pabloony, what's going on? Have I seen The Mandalorian Season 2 and the WandaVision trailer? I have seen The Mandalorian Season 2. I have not seen the WandaVision trailer. I think tonight is going to be the first night that I watch The Mandalorian Season 2 on launch instead of waiting for Friday or Saturday, just because my wife and I loved the last episode so much that we definitely want to see it. Loves the Sons of Anarchy jacket. Yeah, thanks, man. Those are also, I also got Opie and Chubbs to sign that. So, or Chibs, sorry, Chubbs. Mark McKeever, Pastor, I wonder if we can do, I'm sure we could do watch parties on HBO Max. I don't see why not. Oh, Random Andy, super chat, $5. Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. Here's an early Christmas gift. Stay pastory. Yeah. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, buddy. Mark McKeever, you should be able, yeah, we should be able to. I love The Mandalorian. Kylo Ren, welcome, buddy. Yeah, I love it, man. Last episode was pretty awesome. It is Chubbs. Yeah, I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, why is it? It's Chubbs. I know it's Chubbs. Pastor, read out that I had a grandson. I said granddad, grandfather, just in case you. Oh, you know, Ben. Part of me was like, I remember you saying that you were younger, so I was like, maybe I was wrong, but I read out grandson. Sorry, sorry. I know you're 17. I didn't know you were 17, but I know you weren't like older. So sorry about that, bud. Alex W. Super chat, £5. Thanks so much, man. As a pretentious Englishman who lives 20 minutes from the UK, equivalent of Broadway, there is a difference between theaters and cinemas. Yes, I'm grumpy. Well, I always say there's a difference between movies and films. So like a movie would be like The Wolverine. A film would be like The Dark Knight. And that's just my opinion, but hopefully you guys get it. It's Chibs. Jay Wolfie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Chibs. I was like, Chibs? I don't think it'd be Chubbs, because that just doesn't sound like it would be a cool name for a show like that. Unless it was an ironic joke. McLovin, thank you so much for the super chat. NOK, I'm not sure what currency that is, but thank you so much. Be terrible. Wait, wrong channel. That's a good one, man. Oh, Jeremy sees this in playback if he's not in the chat. That's great, man. Thank you. Alex W, 100% cinemas and theaters are different. Yes, definitely. Patrick Stewart, love those lightsaber reveals. Gave me a great idea. Just got my friend John his first lightsaber, and we did a big reveal getting any more lightsabers. Yes, great question. I am definitely getting more lightsabers. I'm going to, I forgot which one of you messaged me either on Instagram or Patreon, I can't remember, suggesting that there was a website that was kind of like Ultra Sabers, but they were a little bit more affordable. My goal, and there's nothing set in stone as to when, but I know it's going to happen. My goal is to get like a group of like 5 or 6 of those mystery sabers and raffle off like half of them, you know, and hold on to the other half and maybe do something cool for you guys with the other half, but definitely raffle off half of them. So if that's anything you guys are, you know, interested in, I'm probably going to do it as like a Patreon thing just to kind of give them an extra special incentive, you know, for helping me pay the bills and helping me make the content. But I got something brewing with lightsabers. So to answer your question there, I'm definitely getting more lightsabers. Collection looks so cool. Thank you, Pabloony. I really appreciate that. Jeremy just gone live. He was live? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm messing with the mic. Sorry. Yeah, it's still there. Yo, what's going on here? What's going on, Kylo Ren? Oh, Jeremy's live now. Oh, that sucks. Maybe we can raid. Like if we can raid off of here and go to Jeremy's. You're gonna head out, King of the Hills. Thanks for sliding by, buddy. Where did I get the Jason mask from? I actually made that mask. So I go online and I buy a bunch of these masks from like eBay. These are the ones I have left. Sorry for the plastic, but yeah, I buy these masks. They just come plain white, and then I weather them and paint them myself. For the upcoming short film on Holden's channel, the new Halloween, the sequel to the one we did last year, I did the mask for that one, that Jason mask as well. This was my very first one that I painted. I'll do a close-up on it when we make that video. But yeah, I love painting Jason masks. That's actually one of the items I'm gonna raffle off on the channel for the patrons. So I'm glad you guys like that. Heath Ledger, what's going on? Got a laptop to watch us both. That's awesome, man. Way to be dedicated. Let's see. Hereditary review is as close as I'll ever get to watching that movie again. Yeah, that dude, Jeff, that movie still haunts me, bro. Like, I am a huge horror nut, as you can see behind me. I have, masks all over the place. That movie, I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's because, and I don't know if you guys believe in this stuff or not. A lot of people say it's a bunch of hokey crap, but I believe in it. And I saw my first full body apparition the other day. So any of you who are supernatural enthusiasts, I don't mean the show, but sure, it's appropriate. But I mean like spirits and ghosts and stuff. For those of you that are into that stuff, I can tell you I have personal experience. Spirits are real. Whether they're, severe hallucinations, I don't know. But I definitely saw a full body apparition at my house. And I can tell you guys if you want the story, or I can do a separate live just talking about that. But yeah, if you guys want to hear about that, definitely let me know in chat, because it was an experience. It was definitely an experience. And thankfully it happened after I saw Hereditary. Because if it would have happened before, I think Hereditary would have hit me a little bit harder than it did, even though it was still pretty darn scary. It's probably the scariest movie I've seen in my entire life, as far as allowing it to scare me, allowing it to get to me. Because if movies like The Exorcist, that are known to be the scariest of all time and all that stuff, yeah, it's pretty creepy. But I mean, when you let a movie scare you, when you get super invested into it and it actually affects you, then it's subjective. And that movie definitely affected me, like, incredibly so. You guys want to hear the story? Okay, so basically here's what it is. Oh, wait a minute, I got a question. Starting a YouTube channel, do I have any video ideas for you? Isa Jelani. Yeah, I don't recognize your name, so welcome. Basically, there are two different, here's my ADD showing. There are two different kinds of YouTube channels. You have what people call the variety channel, and then you have what people call the niche channel. My channel, Holden's channel, it's kind of a variety. Even though we stick to like pop culture stuff, Star Wars, X-Men, or Marvel, horror movies, in my case, stuff like that. There are other channels that are even more of a variety. Like, we're talking super spontaneous vlog style videos and all that other stuff. My channel personally, that's where I'm gearing it towards. It's just a completely open, let's just do something fun. Then you have niche channels like people who show you how to work on cars, people who show you how to rebuild houses, So you kind of have to pick what kind of avenue you want to do. Do you have a niche thing? Do you want to do have YouTube as like a streaming thing for your video gaming? So like you do Twitch and then it streams into YouTube. Do you want to make a YouTube channel just based off movie reviews? Kind of play around with what you want to do, and it has to be passion. If you're not passionate about it, you're probably not going to do it for long. Patrick Stewart, you got to go. All right, buddy. Love you too, bro. I'll see you soon. But yeah, so that's basically it. That's my advice. Starting off, you'll hear different people say different things. Some people suggest quality over quantity. Some people say in the very beginning, before you get started and get your first like couple hundred to 1,000 subscribers, it's quantity over quality. So like just make many videos and don't stress over how clean the editing is and all that. Just as long as you're passionate about the subject matter. And then you just keep pumping videos out in a consistent manner. Be consistent. That's the key, Regardless of which one you take, it's consistency. You have to always have some sort of content that your viewers can rely on, and release it. You know, and other people, they just spend weeks and weeks. They upload once a month, and they spent, you know, 3.5 weeks shooting, editing, producing a video, and then they do it consistently like that. But they do one video a month because it's just so, the quality is just, you know, so intense. Then you have people like smaller YouTubers like myself, like Holden, where we just make several videos a week. We get better at editing, and that's going to happen. You're going to get better, you're going to get more comfortable, and your quality is just going to get better. That's just the way it works. But definitely I can talk about YouTube all day. So great question. So back to the supernatural event in my life. Pastor Matt needs your help with live streams. It's because I'm going straight on my phone. Matt likes to use his laptop, and Matt has a lot of equipment. So I feel bad that it was really rough trying to get him to go live last Sunday. But I think he's gonna get it figured out. Matt's got it under control. It was just a rough night for that. So basically, this is what happened. My wife goes to work, especially now during peak season with the post office and Christmas and stuff. She goes to work at around 5 o'clock every morning. So she goes to work one morning. This was like 2 weeks ago, and she had our family car, because I have a pickup truck, but our family car is a Honda CRV. So it has a muffler problem that we're going to get addressed eventually when we get a little bit of money saved up. And the muffler makes this incredible racket. It's just like, it basically sounds like you're brewing coffee with rocks inside the coffee machine. It's like, it's terrible. So I heard it drive off. So clearly I know that Ashley was no longer at home. She was on her way to work. So there was no way this could have been her. I was home alone with Luke because Logan was at my parents' house. He spends a lot of time with my dad, especially before he goes back to school. So anyway, it was just me and Luke, kind of how it is now. I'm waiting for Ashley to get home from work. She should be home in about 30 minutes. So it was Luke and I, and that's it. And I was in my bedroom, and I had stayed up all night because I was working on video stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I stayed up, past, it was like 5:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I need to get some sleep before my son wakes up, and, I got to be dad, for the whole day. So I go, and I put my head on the pillow, and I'm facing this way, and then I trying to get comfortable, and I readjust, and I look this way. Well, we have a bathroom in our bedroom, and I close my eyes and I'm getting comfortable, and then I open my eyes to kind of like it's kind of hard to explain. I'm basically just getting comfortable. Well, anyway, something catches my attention, and I'm like, and it's dark in my room, but the light is coming in through the window, so I can kind of see Luke Skywalker. Yes, it totally is Luke Skywalker. But yeah, so I look, right, and in the doorway of my bathroom, you guys, I'm getting chills just saying it. There is a full body apparition of a woman. Now the woman she had like the shoulder pads, how women wore back in the day. So I knew that it was not someone I was used to seeing. And she had dark hair, really fair skin, and her face was really narrow. And her hair was bunched up on top of her head, and then she had a lot of hair, so it was bunched up, and then there was like a bun on top of that. So it kind of looked like a Marie Antoinette kind of deal, and with less curls and stuff. And she had her elbows like towards the frame of the doorway, and she was just propping herself up, and she had this white long flowy gown. She wasn't see-through like you would see in the movies. She was like, it was like if a very pale person was standing in the doorway. And she was just looking at me, and she was just smiling at me like that. Well, I was laying and I go, what is that? And I wipe my eyes and I look, and I was totally expecting to be like, oh, my eyes were playing tricks on me. Guys, she didn't go anywhere. She was still there. I mean, I know it sounds crazy. Anybody who's ever had a experience like this, I promise you, I will believe you. I will definitely believe anyone who says, oh, I see spirits. I'm never going to discount that anymore, because I rub my eyes and I look, and she's still there. Same position, just looking at me while I'm laying down. I freak out. I can't remember if I grabbed my pillow or my blanket or something. I peel out of the bedroom, go across the hall, go into my boy's room, close the door behind me, lock the door, stare at the door like processing what just happened. Mind you, I wasn't like asleep and then woke up and, could have been seeing things, could have still been dreaming. No, I had not gone to bed yet. I was still in the process of going to bed. And I wasn't like super tired, like, oh, I drug myself to the bed. No, I purposefully got up and was like, I'm going to go lay down. I could have stayed up an hour or so, after that. I went to sleep because I knew I had to, not because I was exhausted, if that makes sense. So I'm like literally there, like in my son's room. Logan's bed is a full adult sized twin bed, so I can totally sleep on it. And I'm laying there. Luke's passed out. They have their TV mounted on the wall. If you guys follow me on TikTok, I have videos where I do, videos with my kids, and you can see their TV's mounted on the wall. So the TV was on, and I'm there looking, and I'm just like, what did I just see, dude? Literally, what just happened? And then right there, I end up passing out, and I wake up like 4 hours later or something like that. Luke is still passed out, so I was like, oh my God, he's so tired, and I checked on him. I had to change his diaper because he was like, getting wet on his diaper and stuff, and I didn't want him to pee the bed or it to leak out, that kind of thing. Welcome to being a dad. And then I was like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I here? For a split second, I was like, why am I here? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I saw some lady in my doorway. So I open the door, take a deep breath, look out in the hallway. I don't see anything. Then I'm like, gotta go in my room. Go in my room, put my hand at the door where the light switch is, and turn on the light switch and look in the bathroom. There's nothing there. So I didn't know what happened. Now the thing is, guys, it wasn't a malevolent feeling. I didn't feel like this person was wanting to hurt me. I didn't feel like they wanted me to leave. So I tell my dad. My dad went to Vietnam. He was in the army. He is one of those, like, if you call him and you're like, Dad, I'm having a bad day. He'll be like, oh yeah, you're having a bad day? Yeah, buddy? Yeah, I was in Nam, okay? Yeah, people were dying all around me. So let's end this little tea party. That's how my dad is. He is legit that guy. And then he's like, here's your mother. And then, he'll hand me to my mom. And my mom's like, what's wrong, baby? And I'm just like, Mom, I'm just having a bad day. I'm just having a bad day. Oh, yeah, well, tell me about it. I love you. I think will be okay. And then you hear my dad in the background going, tell our son to relax, So basically, I tell my dad, and my dad's like, tell me about it. And I'm like, okay. So I tell him the whole thing. And he's like, so what does she look like? And I was like, oh, she was a white lady. And, it's my stepdad, for those of you, because obviously I'm not white. It's my stepdad. So, but he's been my stepdad since I was like 8 years old. And he's like, so tell me about it, man. And I'm kind of surprised because he's not looking at me like, dude, you're 32 years old. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm sorry I came to visit you, kind of deal. So he turns around, he's like, so tell me about it. I'm like, yeah, so she had this fair skin and she had a lot of she had dark hair, and it was like, up. And the thing that was weird was that she was wearing a gown with like shoulder pads. So it was like, women don't wear that now, and, he goes, okay. So did she have like her hair was like black, or like it just looked like a shadow? And I was like, no, it looked like her hair was as dark as mine. And I was like, she wasn't see-through, and she was about this tall. And I just kept on giving him like broad strokes of details. And then I was like, it was a very intelligent, looking, spirit. And he starts smiling, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, do you know that this was my mother's house? Like, I had this house built for my mother. And I said, really? Your grandma? And I was like, I never got to meet grandma, And he's like, no, you didn't. She passed away before I got together with your mother. But she got to meet your mother, or she passed away before I married your mother. But she got to meet your mother, my mother. And I was like, oh. And she's like, oh, she loved your mother. She really wanted to meet you guys, but it just didn't work out. And then she ended up getting sick and passing away. And, oh, and man, you're asking how old the house is? The house was built in like 56. And She was the only, like, the first owner, and then like other family members have rented it since then, since she passed. But she this was her house. And then my dad tells me, see, I'm looking in the hallway right now, freaking out. My dad tells me that my bedroom, Ash and I's bedroom, was her bedroom. That was her room. That is the master bedroom. She used to use that bathroom all the time. That was her room. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh man. He's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I feel all right. I just don't know why that happened. And he's like, well, your mother has seen things too. Your mother has seen, a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, so what do you say? And I'm like, Dad, you're freaking me out because normally you're the one who's like, oh, none of that exists, man. Let's be real, dude. Like, this is stupid. And I was like, man, this happened, Dad. And he's like, I believe you. I believe that you saw Mom. Then I was like, okay, why are you so all of a sudden non-skeptical about this kind of stuff? And he was like, oh, it's because I didn't tell you this, but I'm really glad you pretty much acquired my mother's house, and that's your family home now. That's why I come to visit you all the time. And I was like, oh, okay. And basically, my dad allowed my wife and I to buy the house because he basically owned it when my grandma passed away. He bought it. He didn't want some random person to buy it. So he worked out a really good deal with us. We're practically, I mean, we're still, it wasn't free, but he didn't sell me the house as much as he would sell it to a stranger, if that makes sense. We heavily discounted. And he was like, the house is there if you want it. If not, I'm going to sell it. Just fix it up and, put a bunch of money into it and don't worry about paying me until that's done. And then we'll work something out so you can get it. Right. So then he tells me, oh, this was his mother's house. And this is the part that makes it to where he's like, oh, this is why I'm not skeptical. He goes, I've come to visit your house 3 times since you've moved in. We've lived here since August, right around the end of August. And he's like, I've come to visit you in your home about 3 times since you've moved in. Every single time I come into your house, mind you, we have new walls. These walls are brand new. That crown molding that's up there, that is brand new. The floors are brand new. I'll show you. Like the floor, brand new flooring. And my wife and I, we did it. We painted everything. We did the house. We redid the house. So I was like, this doesn't make sense. And he's like, every time I come into this house, it smells like it did when Mom lived here. And I said, really? And he's like, yeah, it smells like it, how she had it. Like if she was cooking, if she was blowing, had scented candles, if she was doing laundry, any kind of household smell. It was like a very, significant, like, home odor. I know it sounds really weird, but like I can smell, like when I go to my in-laws house, there's a specific smell. When my kids go to my in-laws house and they spend the weekend with them and they come back and I take their, the clothes that they didn't get to wear, that I gave them too many clothes or whatever, and they didn't get to wear all the clothes. I smell the clothes and I'm like, it smells like my in-laws house. You know what I mean? Like every home has a smell. And if you live there, you can't smell it, but it does have a smell. So when he said that, I was like, Dad, I know exactly what you're talking about. Granted, I don't smell it ever. So what does that mean for you? He's like, well, it just means that even though I don't believe in all this spirit stuff and all that, I believe that my mother is there and I believe that she's never left. And I go, okay. And he's like, well, it kind of solidifies that feeling when you say to me that it wasn't malevolent. It was like, hey, I'm glad that the house is, prolonging and continuing the generations. Even though we're not blood related, he's been my dad since I was 8, and it's weird. It's really weird. Like, basically, I just spent 30 minutes telling you guys this story, but it was very, very interesting because I've always like felt if I've gone somewhere, I'm like, oh wow, I feel like there's other things. I feel like someone's, I don't feel alone, but it's never been apparent. Like when you go into a room and the older tube TVs, you can tell when they're on because like you hear or you feel this like static. and then you turn it off and you're like, okay, that sound or feeling is gone, you know. But yeah, it's incredible, man. Like, I've been in haunted houses before that people are like, oh, this house was haunted, you know. I'm actually working on a video that I'm gonna go to Pensacola, and I think it's like 5 or 6 locations that are all known to be haunted, because I'm fascinated with that stuff. And you know, I'm like, I want to go. I want to interview the people that work there. You know, the Pensacola Lighthouse is one of them. The Sanger Theater is one of them here in Pensacola, in the Pensacola area. And that's a video that I'm actually scripting that I want to work on. And so I'm into that stuff. You know, I've gone, like I said, I've gone into haunted places. I've gone into places that have been known to have activity, and it's never been like, you know, like this, like oh, like the movies where you're like, get. I mean, I'm sure it exists. You know, like get out, get out. But I definitely don't discount anyone's accounts. And if anyone on here, you know, has any experience, dude, I would love to hear it. Love to hear it. So, basically, yeah, it happened. And, you know, I'm not gonna like expect you to believe me. I'm not gonna, you know, say, well, you know, it happened, so, you know, go screw yourself or anything like that. I appreciate the skeptics, and I appreciate the people that have experienced it, because I was kind of a skeptic. As fascinated as I was with it, I was kind of a skeptic, because I was like, well, I technically have never seen anything. So I have to take your word for it. Now it's like seeing is believing. And I hate, you know, that that's the way it is, because for those of you who are religious, you know, doubting Thomas, you know, he was like, oh, if I don't see it, it's not real. And it's a very real, you know, thing and conundrum. A lot of human beings are like that. They're like, well, if I can't see it or touch it, it's not real, you know. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. It 100% is real. I didn't make it up. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think, either in chat or in the comments if you're watching in playback. But you guys have been pretty active on chat. Let me look here and see what you guys have been saying. Pretty much responding to the story. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I have a lot of stories. Like when I worked at the hospital, at the psych hospital with Holden and my wife, because that's where I met my wife, that we couldn't explain. You know, we would hear things. Sometimes, you know, we would smell things, and we just couldn't explain it. You know. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy that that's how it happened. I don't know how. The video is called Let's Talk Movies and Warner Brothers 2021. And we're talking about ghost stories. So that's why, for those of you new, Jeff, you know, new to the community, we do whatever we want on this channel. You know, as long as we have fun, that's what this channel's about. I keep looking in the hallway, guys. I keep looking in the hallway. Oh, it's freaking me out, man. It's freaking me out. It's 29 people in the chat. That's awesome. Ghost is a great movie. Yes, it is. Joyful Spirit, what's going on? You just missed a ghost story. Definitely feel free to watch it in playback. Yeah, like Kylo Ren, you believe me, but you haven't encountered a ghost. Yeah, you see, it's really, really, really easy that, you know, for people to say, oh, I don't believe it because I haven't experienced it. And I totally get it. Because for me, and I've said this many times, I don't know if I've said it on video or anything, but my personal opinion, and even more so than religion, is we as human beings are so complex. You know, we create amazing things. We fix things. We heal from things. You know, we share things. We know we're the only living thing on this planet that knows it's going to die, you know, that knows that it is. We may not know what we are. We may not know why we can remember, you know, but Iron Wolf, if I saw your message, no, let me, sorry. I thought I seen a ghost on the side of the road driving one night in the country. It was strange white covered person. Glad it didn't turn around and look at me. Oh, wow. See, that gave me chills, bro. I believe it, man. I believe it. You know, energy cannot be destroyed, just change it to different form. Yeah, exactly. We are way too complex to just cease to exist. You know what I mean? Like people that are like, oh, when you die, nothing happens. I'm like, okay, I appreciate that that's your opinion. I'm not going to fault you for it, but I just can't wrap my head around the fact that when you die, nothing happens. We are too complex. We are way too complex. We don't even know half of what we are, and there's no way that we're just going to be like, oh, it sounds poetic and it sounds cool, like the Greeks, Troy, for example. Brad Pitt's like, that's why no one will remember your name. My name's Achilles, my name. Without my name, nobody will remember me throughout the ages. It sounds awesome, super poetic, but definitely you I believe we're all way too complex to just boof, we just evaporate. There has to be some sort of life after death, whether it's biblical and heaven, hell, that kind of concept, or if we die and we literally go from one phase to another, you know, parallel universe, or the veil. Some people say it's the veil, where you just cross over and we're occupying the same place, but different structures where we can't interact, and stuff like that. Who knows? But what do I think about the WB HBO Max business, Pastor Heath Ledger? Great question. Yeah, that's what this live's about. Daniel, my brother died in a car. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. Died in a car accident. My mom says some sort of special therapist, and I was able to somehow communicate with him and tell things to mom. It was weird. Yeah, I believe it, man. 30 people in the chat and 30 likes. Heck yeah, man. So yeah, I think it's awesome. Let me see who asked that. Heath Ledger. Yeah, I think it's awesome that they're doing that. I mentioned that human beings adapt. We adapt to what happens. So the fact that they're thinking, whether they got together and brainstormed, or whether it was just a run of the mill, hey, let's do it. I think it's very, very smart. I think that streaming and the future of media is definitely going to be more technological than like analog, is what I call it. Like, basically show up with a camera and record and somehow plug it into the internet. It's more of like giving the user and the consumer more power. I don't want to watch the show until I'm ready to watch it, as opposed to running home, having to set the DVR. I remember when DVRs were like like we were like, there's no way that a DVR is going to get any better. That's going to be the future of watching television, is watch it when I want, and all I have to do is remember to erase it. Now it's like, dude, there's such a thing as the cloud, where you don't even know what it is, but your information just floats into the sky and it's supposed to be protected and all that other stuff. So yeah, I think that the future of entertainment is streaming. It's live streams, it's content creation, it's basically all of those good things. So hold on, there's a question. Do I think anyone will ever beat Endgame's box office record now? Honestly, it's going to take a lot. Why? Because the build-up was 10 years old, 10 plus years old for Endgame. The characters, super beloved. The source material, super iconic, very nostalgic, very, very much pop culture. It's going to take something very, very, very impactful. Ashley just got home. What's going on, Philip? Someone else said hi as well. Let me not miss that. Reagan Hill, wait, what's going on? It's going great. Thank you very much. Chief Supreme, you made it. Welcome, buddy. Joyful Spirit says, but it's sad too. I was wanting to take my daughter to the theater just to watch it stream. Yeah. So basically, like, for me, the whole streaming thing hit me when a couple times I saw the new Borat movie, which it's not for kids. So if anyone is young, I don't advocate watching that. It's definitely not for kids. I watched the new Borat movie and I was like, this is weird, because it was supposed to come out in theaters. Obviously, coronavirus stopped that. It also happened when I heard about Mulan. I didn't watch it, but I heard Disney was trying to do this thing where they're like, oh, pay $30 and you watch it. I think that was not, that's basically the opposite of what Warner Brothers is doing, in my opinion. I don't think that was a very smart decision. Hopefully the mouse is not watching this stream and I get a phone call. Looks like you messed up, Pastor. I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, I don't think that was a very smart move, because a bunch of people were like, why would, why would I pay $30 to watch Mulan? You know, it just doesn't justify that. Ashley said she's home finally. Yeah, babe. Yeah, I'm just, well, you know, I'm streaming. So, but yeah, so I just don't see that, you know, that helping, because especially now, I went to Walmart and I saw that the Mulan movie was like $15 on Blu-ray. You know, you're gonna pay $30 to watch it once when you can own it forever for 15 bucks, and that's not even counting if the movie's good or not. You know, so I think that doing it with HBO Max, especially the incentive of lowering the premium so that you're not paying full price for 6 months, you know, and it's not just the movies. You get to literally enjoy HBO, which is whatever they offer, you know. I know my mom, I think it was HBO, whenever Game of Thrones was on, she literally subscribed to HBO just because of Game of Thrones. So it's not unheard of for people to have, you know, when Disney Plus came out, I was like, look, unless they do all of the Disney Channel original movies, unless they do, you know, like something out of this world that would warrant me spending money on another streaming service, I'm not going to get Disney Plus. You know, my kids can watch Netflix. There's kids shows on Netflix, whatever. And then The Mandalorian happened, and I was like, well, I guess I'm getting Disney Plus. Now I love it. There's, you know, the X-Men animated series, Spider-Man was put on there not long ago, Gargoyles, you know, pretty much all the Disney Channel original movies. It, to me, Disney Channel or Disney Plus is probably the most bang for your buck, because it has all this stuff that you can share with your family if you have a family, even if you don't. I grew up watching DComs, you know. The fact that it's like $7, huge. You know, the fact that you can pair it with like Hulu if you do it at one point. Netflix is going to go just under 20 bucks starting in 2021. That's insane. I'm still trying to figure out, I'm like, do I really want to do this, you know? But yeah, I think the future of entertainment is streaming. It's going to be streaming. Movies, TV shows, it's going to be streaming. Alex W with Super Chat. £2. Thank you so much. HBO Max deal is only in the US. Oh, that, oh yeah, I did remember reading something like that. That sucks, man. Hopefully they figure something out for everyone else, because, you know, it's not just the US that should enjoy movies. It's the whole world, in my opinion. And in your opinion, I'm sure. Joyful Spirit, I can't afford every streaming service. Yes. So, not that I'm going to tell you guys how to spend your money or anything, but like, this is how Ash and I rationalize it. If we prioritize which one, we don't have Hulu right now. A, because if anything happens in television, we could always either watch the Cliff Notes on YouTube, go to a friend's house, that kind of thing. I believe strongly in taking advantage of the fact that you can have YouTube, or you can have streaming services with multiple like devices. So like my buddy will have Hulu and I'll have Netflix, and then we swap our accounts so we both can enjoy both and only pay for one. If I were to pick which streaming service I would recommend, Disney Plus would be on the top end. Why? Because it's very, very affordable, and it gives you a lot of options. It's a family-oriented streaming service. You don't have to worry about, you know, having to put parental controls and all that stuff. For those of you that don't have kids, that's obviously not that big of an incentive. Netflix really, the Netflix original shows are awesome and all, but they actually rub me the wrong way because they randomly just cut them. You know, and I've said this many, many times. I hate that they'll make a really good show, get me invested, and then for whatever reason, they cancel it. You know, Santa Clarita Diet, and I can go on, and it just pains me to remember. So that's one of my biggest qualms with Netflix. Also, the price is outrageous. $20, that's crazy. Amazon Prime is not even $20. Amazon Prime is my second recommended streaming service. Prime is awesome for real world stuff, ordering stuff, you know, free shipping, that kind of thing. Plus, you get your bang for your buck in Prime using Amazon Prime, because if you want to watch Twitcher, like a Twitch content creator, you get one free month a year, one free sub a month. So you can go and like say, oh, I want to see what this support this person, content creator. You know, 1 month you're like, I want to sub to this person. Next month you sub to someone else. And it's free. You don't pay anything. So you get one free Twitch subscription. You get free shipping with Amazon Prime and all those perks. You get a selection of movies that they like always add to. Vintage movies, old school movies, classic movies, new movies, you know, that you watch for free on Prime. And it's like you get a bunch of other perks with it, like coupons and all this other stuff. So I would recommend Amazon Prime and Disney Plus. Now, as far as Hulu and Netflix and some of the others, I just don't subscribe to it. Honestly, guys, I would prefer to invest money in a smart television, because if you have internet and a smart TV, there are so many channels. You can watch the news for free. You can watch like local sports for free. There's so many different things that I'm learning just getting into this whole technology thing. So yeah, Hulu is good if you want live TV, but you know, any show that's like a blockbuster show or anything like that, you can probably find entire episodes on that channel's YouTube channel, if that makes sense. So like if you want to watch Comedy Central has a YouTube channel. So they're going to probably put like Dave Chappelle's special, for example, on there, and you don't have to worry about watching it on Hulu. Hulu was the one that I had the biggest problem keeping, especially because it was so heavily pushed with ads, and you know, the interface was kind of wonky, and you know, you couldn't, sometimes they skipped seasons, so they're like, oh, you know, we have like the first like 2 seasons of Hell's Kitchen, for example, but we don't have the middle ones. We have the brand new one and the first 2. And then you're like, but I want to know. Hell's Kitchen is a bad example because you don't really need to know what happened in the previous seasons, but for a show you did. You guys know what I mean. Yeah, Pluto TV, Tubi, all that stuff. Having a smart TV, you have access to all of that, which is amazing. Hey, Pastor, when did I first get into filmmaking? So, I've always been passionate with movies and TV shows and stuff, mainly movies. When I was in 8th grade, and I was graduating 8th grade, my stepdad got me my very first camcorder. And I told him, I said, you know, I want to be a writer. And he was like, listen, I'm going to be realistic. I don't want to burst your bubble, but being a writer is very, very risky. You know, you're not going to make a living unless you're like dead or something like that. You know, it was one of those times. And I was like, okay. So pretty much discouraged me on that, you know, and I was like, I guess I don't want to be a writer, but I still kept writing. Then I said, well, what can I do with all the stuff I write? If being, oh, someone's out of here. Alex W., thank you so much for hanging out, man. I'll see you later. You know, I was like, I want to do something, you know, and then I was like, I can make movies. I can make art, you know, in movie form. And I started recording everything. I went to the park and I would film the birds. I would test how far my camera can zoom. I would do night shot stuff where I would put the night shot on, like the night vision stuff. And I would go out at night and just like film me and vlog style stuff where I talked about literally nothing, you know. And then I was like, oh, this is awesome. Then I got into the world of editing, and I was like, this is the most intimidating thing I've ever done in my life. But then I slowly was like, just look up stuff. I learned a lot from Holden, because Holden shined with editing. He and I, our partnership is so strong and so well is because I'm passionate about the camera. You guys all the time, for those of you that are cross subscribers, you guys are like, oh my God, Pastor, you know, you're the best. You have such steady hands with the camera and all that. It's my passion is I want to be the eyes. I want to be the person who allows you to see what happens. You know, Holden got me comfortable being in front of the camera. I was, not to toot my own horn, but I was innate with being behind the camera. It just felt right. You know what I mean? And I loved, you know, bringing Holden's visions to life, and, you know, experimenting with camera angles and different, you know, cinematography. That's a big passion for me. That was one of the biggest takeaways from Hereditary, was the cinematography. I love it. I want to be known as, you know, one of the great cinematographers in history, if possible, you know. So I've been making movies and making videos for a very, very long time. My YouTube channel has not been a big deal until this year. You know, like many small YouTubers, I was like, why am I doing this? No one's watching my videos. You know, maybe it's just because they're not very good, you know. And I had a YouTube channel. I think I started my YouTube channel, this one, 2015. Didn't start making content until like a year and a half ago. And I was like, whatever. And then I had ups and downs. And Holden was like, look, man, I got 42 subscribers. You'll get there. And now he's at like 100,000 plus, you know. So it really, 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 really helps. Of course, validation. A lot of people will say, don't do it for validation, but validation does help. Seeing your stuff happen, seeing your videos grow, seeing your channel grow, you know, it definitely helps. It's definitely an incentive to keep doing this. But you should get to the mental level where you're like, I'm going to do this regardless. And if you're not going to do it regardless, if you're only doing it because people watch it and people like it, then it's the fire is gonna burn out. You know, it's gonna burn out because you know, eventually something may happen and you ask yourself, why am I doing this? And you struggle. And it's because, you know, the passion wasn't there. You were just doing it for one part of the pie, which was the recognition or the fame or, you know, the attention or whatever. So it's one gigantic pie, if that makes sense. The passion is definitely there. Of course, seeing that you're successful, seeing the return helps you be more passionate, you know, because you're like, oh my God, I have a responsibility to YouTube. You know, for us, like for Holden, we have a responsibility to you guys, and we love that. It's not that we're like slaves to you guys. It's we love having that with you. We love it, you know. We love going. We got to give the subscribers what they, you know, we got to give them something special, you know. Sorry about that. So my phone is reminding me that my battery is dying. So I'm gonna have to go charge my phone because that's where I'm recording it from. Sorry guys. Yeah, it was. Hopefully I'm live now. I don't know if you guys can hear me. It seems to be on, but I don't want to risk it. Cool, I'm back. Yeah. So for those of you, I don't want to risk my phone. My battery's dying actually, and I have to go, you know, say hi to my wife and everything. But I've been on for just under an hour. But yeah, if you guys want to, I could do another live and continue the conversation on YouTube and everything else. But I just wanted to do a live just cause, and to talk about the news that Mark McKeever messaged me on Patreon and said, hey, this is about to happen. So for those of you that are new here, Jeff, again, welcome. Tell your mom I said hi. You know, it's great. It's great to see that you just found the live. But yeah, I'm going to put the Patreon link and the Teespring link and all that good stuff if you wanted to support the channel and help, you know, keep the channel going and you know, keep the content and you know, all the stuff that I'm able to use to get it going. You know, the support really helps. And you guys that are patrons, I love you guys so much for that. You don't have to be a patron, but I greatly appreciate it. Being a subscriber, hitting that like button and sharing, that's literally the best thing you can do for the channel. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. You know, it was like 30 plus that was consistent in the chat. So that was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed my little story. I have many, many stories that are kind of similar, but not as intense. And I'd love to talk more about it, but I got to go get to my family and intend to everyone. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you. Check out all the links down below. Check out the rest of the videos. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel, all that good stuff. Good night to everyone. Hopeful M, Iron Wolf, MN Comic Books. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. You guys are great. I love each and every one of you guys, and I will see you really, really soon. Take it easy.